Everyone's always like, oh, there's no psyops running on TikTok. Shadow banning's not real. Algorithmic bias is just a reflection of society. Y'all, the internet is literally a military technology. Let's talk about it. So a little known fact about the internet is that it began as a military technology, and it all centers on our still ongoing Cold War with Russia and this will they, won't they relationship we have with nuclear warfare. Basically, the US military was really scared about the possibility of nuclear war with Russia, and we're looking to develop a communication system that could survive a thermonuclear attack. And so the Department of Defense began developing something called ARPANET. That stands for Advanced Research Project Agency Network. The ARPANET was meant to be a way of sharing high-level resources, like the time-sharing computations that were running hydrodynamic simulations used to develop nuclear weapons. Time sharing here really just means that multiple people could work on a single task from one computer. So in the nuclear weapons design example, multiple people would be working together on their own set of computations that would then all come together to create a simulation. Think about it like a group project. It's so much easier for everyone to work in one shared document where they can see what everyone else is doing rather than have to put together a bunch of different documents from different softwares possibly and piece that work together after the fact. It's that, but to make nuclear weapons, okay. And what was a radically new innovation for the time, they created a network of identical mini computers that could share information and resources with a single host mainframe. So basically you could now have multiple computers that a bunch of people are making calculations on, then communicate with a single mainframe where everyone can see all of the computations that everyone is doing. It makes the computations faster because more people can share the work. And in the event that one of the computers connected to the network were to experience a nuclear attack, the mainframe would still have all of the computations that that computer ran. And all of the other computers connected to it will still be able to see those computations. Luckily for us, mutually assured destruction has not happened yet. And eventually the people using the ARPANET actually realized it was really great for just communicating between one another. Messages, notes, anything, important tasks that need to be done. And soon the military and other institutions like the University of Hawaii developed other networks like it. And naturally, they also thought it would be cool if those separate networks could communicate with one another. And the rest is history. Now we have all of these mainframes all over the place hosted in data centers that allow us to connect to the internet. But it's that basic mechanic of having a computer able to communicate with a mainframe, and that mainframe being able to store all of the information that everyone is uploading into it. What's so interesting about this history is that I'm not sure we really need to be using military technology to communicate with one another, right? Like, do we really need to be using technology like as regular people that can survive nuclear warfare? Just a question, right? Think about how people say that the internet is forever. When they say that, they're talking about the importance of monitoring your digital footprint. This is inherently an environment, due to the history of how it was developed, that is based on a certain anxiety over information being destroyed. And whether or not information is important enough to be preserved is up to the whims of the owners of servers and data centers. I'll tell you what, your tweets from 4th grade are not still on Twitter because it's important information. No, it's because the ownership of personal data from users has become a valuable resource that can be leveraged between tech companies and governments in a really important way. We see the implications of this with the construction of new data centers for housing AI models, tech companies building relationships with public infrastructure and putting a strain on our public infrastructure, such as our municipal water supply. Beyond providing tech companies with the leverage to impact public resource distribution, providing an atmosphere within an application that any user's contributions will be permanently archived is important to building a long-lasting and socially impactful website. A website that feels like a third space that's never going anywhere. That feels like somewhere you've always hung out at. And that feels like a part of your daily routines. But this permanent archiving of our every fleeting thought, embarrassing moments, and everlasting memes has consequences, positive and negative. It's important to note here that not everyone's thoughts are seen as equally important to archive. right? When you post a video containing copyrighted materials on YouTube and that portion of the video is flagged and muted, that content has been deemed less valuable by YouTube. At least less valuable than YouTube's relationship with the media and entertainment companies that fought for copyright strikes to be implemented on the website. Similarly, when you post a TikTok promoting your services as a S worker and the video is removed from the platform, TikTok is saying your ability to find clients in a safer way than traditional means is less important than their relationship with other more puritanical users who don't want the realities of S work to be visible. So yes, the internet is a military technology, and we need to kind of think about the implications of that. The fact that our thoughts are permanently archived here, but also under the ownership of people that get to decide what that means for them and for our public infrastructures. What would the internet be like if it wasn't meant to withstand nuclear warfare? What if we explored more local networks of information sharing rather than needing to be connected to the big triple E internet? Triple E internet here stands for embodied, embedded, and everyday, right? A constant part of our reality, embedded into our lives that requires a piece of us. If you're interested in conversations like this about the algorithms, you should check out my exhibition coming up on January 30th at the Haugabrooks Art Gallery within Atlanta. The opening reception of that exhibition will feature a discussion panel with some amazing Atlanta-based creators, including Harriana Hook, Think Peace Tribe, and Cam James. Be there or be square. Share this video with someone you think should know that the internet is a military technology messing with their minds.